Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris the Artist Wilkins. Today we're going to be doing a process video on how I did this IllBleed themed Sega Dreamcast. It's a crazy game. It was a crazy paint job. Unfortunately I had a little bit of camera trouble, so I wasn't able to get all the footage that I would have liked, but I'll give you everything I got. Let's go check out the video. Alright, what we have here is an NTSC Sega Dreamcast. She's a Model 1 edition. I picked this little beauty up special for this project down in Digital Oasis. Because it's a #1 model, that makes it all ready to go for playing backed up games. Pretty snazzy, right? No modifications needed. Hey. Although we will be modifying this guy just a little bit. We're going to replace the old battery with the rechargeable module, as well as a resettable fuse. These things are prone to break on the daughter board, and then the whole thing doesn't want to work anymore. So that's not going to be a problem for this little puppy anymore. On top of that, we're going to do a little LED mod. We'll run 4 red LEDs out the controller ports. It should make it look extra evil. The theme of this console is based off of a very niche horror survival game called IllBleed. I watched quite a bit of the video on it. It's different, it's dark, it's hilarious. It's a game, like, just watching the playthrough alone is an awesome experience. There's a lot of characters in this, and the client wanted a lot of characters, so we did our best. We fit a whole slew of characters into this thing. But before we can do any of that, we gotta sand it, right? We gotta sand it down, we gotta prime it, we gotta paint it, we gotta get some artwork on here. So, moving forward. The main character of the story is named Eriko. She's a young lady on a field trip of sorts to an amusement park with some friends. It's a horror-themed amusement park set up as the rides are like themed mystery-type scare events. And growing up, Eriko's father set out to scare her all the time. So basically, her thing is that she just can't be scared. The mechanics of the game dictate otherwise, and so in this game, it's complicated. Go watch the video. Now, this game has all kinds of multiple endings, which means likely quality control had some issues probably getting through certain aspects of it, and so there was a bunch of stuff that slipped past the radar, including something that this game didn't have any license to, which is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, it's not Sonic the Hedgehog exactly, it's this very dark, demonic, giant, perverse version of Sonic. He does some of the poses. It's Sonic for sure. It's crazy dark, crazy wild, it's nightmare fuel. It's totally nightmare fuel, and it's just one small fun part of the game that got snuck in, I guess. One of the big points of appeal to the game is one of the endings. If you play out the scenario just right, I believe it's possibly the worst ending where all your friends die. There's other playable characters and you can totally screw them over. So by unlocking this certain line of scenario, you basically are playing as Eriko naked at the end of the game, which triggers a whole nother scene with you. I can't even say it. It's a wacky game. And then there's another level that's loosely but obviously based off of Toy Story, where you play a Woody character whose name is Chip, and you're basically trying to find your girlfriend, and she's gone to toy hell. The way she got there was that she was buried with her owner, so when a toy gets buried with their owner, they go to toy hell. So as Chip, in order to save her, you have to go find a little boy, make him your owner, and then you have to kill the little boy and get buried with him to get to toy hell, to find your girlfriend, which is where you meet demonic Sonic. Oh my God! It's way crazier and darker and pervier than you can imagine. Just watch the playthrough. It's wacky. So my customer wanted a couple of custom controllers to go along with this console, so we went with the final boss, the bad scenario, naked Eriko, weird dad scenario, final boss, final boss. So I do a bit of the process here in the video, but if you want to see that completed, it's at the very end of the video. They're pretty cool, they're pretty scary. When painting controllers, it's really important to mask off the area inside where the button moves. Otherwise, paint can bevel onto the edge and create a more narrow opening. And that doesn't allow the button to move as freely as it should. It creates a big problem with the controller. You need responsive buttons, right? So I use this children's clay, a popular brand name that you might know. And then you push it all the way in until it domes through the front side and you're good to go. I recommend letting it dry before removing it, as it can leave a bunch of messy residue. Works great though, highly recommend it. For this next part, I'm using a fine line masking tape. It's an extremely useful tool in my arsenal. I definitely recommend you give it a try. It's really fun to work with and it has a really awesome outcome. You can get them in different widths on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can find your own. The daughter board houses the controller ports. It also has the resettable fuse, which we've already replaced, and the rechargeable battery module. To get the LEDs to shine through just right, we have to push these little metal tabs up and make sure to cut them at the exact same length. That way the light shines through in the exact same way. This is a little diagram that shows how to wire the LEDs from positive to ground. We just need to run the clear process a handful of times, as well as a whole bunch of wet sanding, get this thing nice and shiny, nice and glossy. Then we can start the final assembly and move on to the glamour shots. Alright, that's my video. I hope you liked it. I apologize for not having every little bit of the process. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. Until next time, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you then.